You're about to watch what we call an extended clip of the Young Turks, and the reality is it's somewhere in the middle. It's a little longer than our YouTube clips, but it's actually shorter than the whole 2-hour show, which you can get if you're a member. You can get it ad-free, and make sure you catch every news story we do that day. You're gonna love it as a full show. That's at tytnetwork.com/join. Thanks for watching. All right, back on the Young Turks. John, what's next? Oh, sorry, I was supposed to say one thing. I forgot to tell you guys about the sweatshirt and everything else, and that it's 20% off. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that. I don't want you going out there and paying full price. We're not going to let you do that, okay?
We won't take your money.
Oh, but you do.
We'll take 80% of it.
That's actually not true. We will take your money if you don't use the code, because it's a computer thing. If you don't enter the code, we don't know that you're supposed to get 20% off. All right, Happy Holidays is the code, guys. Not Merry Christmas. Happy Holidays is the code, all right?
So when places do this, why don't they just automatically enter the code?
Okay.
I'm not saying us. I'm saying constantly.
Well, you kind of are saying us. Anyway,
what is who designs all this stuff? Because so much of it's so good.
It's really good.
Great. Well, the graphics.
It's probably a combination of Amber does a lot of it. Jesus, Carlos.
No, Amber, Carlos, and Ali mean. Not mainly, all three of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tim does something. Anyway.
Okay. Anyway, so let's go forward.
Okay. Big news. More big news. Earlier this month, former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI about his communications with Russian government officials. And the question since then has been, will Donald Trump, who has been over the past year incredibly, even perhaps suspiciously protective of Michael Flynn, will Donald Trump pardon Michael Flynn? Now today, the press asked Donald Trump about this, and here is what he said.
We need to talk about a relatively new show called the Republic, or UNFTR. As a Young Turks fan, you already know that the government, the media, and corporations are constantly peddling lies that serve the interests of the rich and powerful. But now there's a podcast dedicated to unraveling those lies, debunking the conventional wisdom. In each episode of On the Republic, or UNFTR, the host delves into a different historical episode or topic that's generally misunderstood or purposely obfuscated by the so-called powers that be. Featuring in-depth research, razor-sharp commentary, and just the right amount of vulgarity, the UNFTR podcast takes a sledgehammer to what you thought you knew about some of the nation's most sacred historical cows. But don't just take my word for it. The New York Times described UNFTR as consistently compelling and educational, aiming to challenge conventional wisdom and upend the historical narratives that were taught in school. For as the great philosopher Yoda once put it, you must unlearn what you have learned. And that's true whether you're in Jedi training or you're uprooting and exposing all the propaganda and disinformation you've been fed over the course of your lifetime. So search for UNFTR in your podcast app today and get ready to get informed, angered, and entertained all at the same time.
About Michael Flynn, would you consider a pardon for Michael Flynn?
I don't want to talk about pardons for Michael Flynn yet. We'll see what happens. Let's see. I can say this. When you look at what's gone on with the FBI and with the Justice Department, people are very, very angry.
I love people seem to always agree with him when he references them. It's odd.
You know, and it came out today, Sebastian Gorka said that very few members of his cabinet agreed on moving the embassy in Jerusalem. Yeah. So even people don't agree, even when he says people agree. So obviously, I mean, I'm repeating something that's doesn't need repeating.
Yeah, we know when polls came out today, I think 63% of the country believed that his campaign had illegal contact with Russia during the campaign. Now, you can say that they've been misinformed or whatever, but it is simply not the case that everybody agrees with him. The FBI is historically mismanaged right now.
It's what you say, too, when things are closing in on you, too. It's when you're a child, you say, oh, but, Jimmy did it, too, and so did Steve, and so did Don. It's the same thing, and it keeps closing in.
So I just want to be absolutely clear. I don't know if this petition gets to 1 million, 10 million, or 100 million, it'll make a difference. But whatever we can do, okay? If he pardons anyone related to the Russia investigation, he should be impeached that afternoon.
Yes.
That is
mass demonstrations.
There should be no question about it. So we did this petition a while back, and let's keep it going. It's called it's at tytnetwork.com/join. Twitter.com/pardon, okay? If Donald Trump pardons anyone from his campaign or administration involved in the Russia investigation, he should be impeached immediately.
I would add, or fires Mueller. Or fires Rod Rosenstein so that Mueller is then fired.
Yeah, and we might have a different one on that. Okay. But look, number one, most importantly, tell your congressmen and your senators to sign this petition, okay? And tell them you signed the petition, send it to them. Do whatever you gotta do, or do it in a way that you're comfortable with. But the main thing here is going to be, unfortunately, Republicans in Congress. No, actually, that's only a little true. Every Democrat should go for immediate impeachment, but I'm not positive they're going to.
Well, a lot of Democrats right now are signing. Today, Carol Shea Porter of New Hampshire signed on to Steve Cohen's impeachment articles, 5 articles of impeachment. Also did it with Al Green. Democrats are coming forward, even though the leadership doesn't yet want them to.
And I think we all need to be clear, both as individuals and especially members of the media, what the red line is on this. It's both the pardons and it's also firing Mueller. Because if we care, not just about this particular issue, but if we care about ever having any accountability over what the president does, then this has to be the red line. If you surrender on this, if you allow him to get away with this, to do clear obstruction of justice, then you will never have an untainted investigation of presidential corruption, illegal acts, any of that from then on. Because we will have made clear as a country that we're okay with that. If it's our guy, or if we like him, or if we don't really care about the issue, then he can shut down any investigation no matter how terrible the acts are.
Yeah, and so there's 2 layers to this. First of all, you can't let Trump get away with it because he's just saying, I'm above the law.
At TYT, we frequently talk about all the ways that big tech companies are taking control of our online lives, constantly monitoring us and storing and selling our data. But that doesn't mean we have to let them. It's possible to stay anonymous online and hide your data from the prying eyes of big tech. And one of the best ways is with ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN hides your IP address, making your active ID more difficult to trace and sell to advertisers. ExpressVPN also encrypts 100% of your network data to protect you from eavesdroppers and cyber criminals. And it's also easy to install. A single mouse click protects all your devices. But listen, guys, this is important. ExpressVPN is rated #1 by CNET and Wired magazine. So take back control of your life online and secure your data with a top VPN solution available, ExpressVPN. And if you go to expressvpn.com/TYT, you can get 3 extra months for free with this exclusive link just for TYT fans. That's expressvpn.com/TYT. Check it out today.
If he's pardoning these guys in circumventing justice and obstructing justice, what the hell is he covering up? That means he definitely did it, which we know, but that's okay. It proves it beyond any reasonable doubt. And God knows what he promised Putin. And God knows what Putin's got over him. We can't have an American president reporting to a leader of a different country.
He spoke favorably about Putin in that press conference we were just watching.
And if you're a conservative and you let our leader be controlled by some other country's leader, you're not a conservative. You're just a cuck. You're just a pathetic beta male who says, oh, yeah, okay. Thanks for listening to the full episode of The Young Turks. Support our work, listen ad-free, access members-only bonus content, and more by subscribing to Apple Podcasts at apple.co/TYT. I'm your host, Cenk Uygur, and I'll see you soon.